Today we are doing collagraphy and we're creating a colorgraphic block. So some things you might need. Number one, cardboard. A large piece of cardboard will do. Just so that you could cut out your block. You would need your glue, liquid glue, Elmer's preferably. A small bottle will do. Scissors and a ruler. So first thing we do is we take our cardboard and we cut out a 13 by 13 piece of cardboard, a square. 13 by 13 square. Alright. Measure it out. Draw lines. We could use our ruler and we could use our scissors to cut this out. Once we've cut it out, we should have our 30 by 13 cardboard square. So we can put this aside for now. The next we'll need is sort of an adventure. You'll be going around the house, inside and outside, and looking for things that you could use to stick onto your block. Now, what sort of things you would think this would be? I'll give you some examples. I've got some straws. I cut them up. You can cut up these straws. I have some matches, right? I have some tissue paper. Tissue paper is excellent because it can be torn up and you can create these small little tissue balls, right? I got this really nice string. It's sort of like a shoelace but very thick, and this could be cut up as well into pieces to be stuck onto your block. I have some random things you could find around the house that you might be able to use. I got some forks. Could cut these as well with the scissors. Some everyday objects, coins. You might be able to use some coins if you have some washers, a blade of sorts. I even cut up an old headset, which I think I could use, and some rope, a tin rope I saw outside I could use. You could even use cardboard as well. You could cut up pieces of cardboard with your scissors. So you get the gist of it. We're looking for recycled materials, not too big. These are relatively small materials that you can find around the house, inside and outside. You could even use leaves, but leaves obviously would dry up and they would turn. So yes, you could stick leaves, but this mightn't last long. So let's not use leaves, but let's use things that will last a while. So what we're doing next is we're coming up with a design to put on our board, and there are many designs we can do. I'll give you an example of a few. I drew them on paper first. We have something like this, which is a pattern. It's like the sun with these rays of light coming off. You could have leaves. You could draw some leaves. You could maybe do a pattern like this. This is a pattern with different types of lines, different shapes. You could even do an image of yourself. You could draw a simple image of yourself. You could maybe do a flower. Flower would be nice. Or you can do hearts. You could do any type of subject matter that you want to create. Nothing too complicated though. We're looking for something simple when it comes to creating our first block. So what I'm gonna do, these were just some examples on paper. What I'm gonna do on my block is something called a spiral pattern. So I get my pencil, I get the center of my block. And I'm going to do a spiral pattern going around the block like this. All going to the center. And that might just be there. So it's a spiral pattern. It's going around and around and it's coming to the center. And it was simple to draw, but we'll see how we'll use our objects now. So I have my glue, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down some string. So I'm going to cut this. Right. I'm going to see how much I need. Maybe about this much. Yeah. And I'm going to put glue first. This glue is strong. Yeah, your glue, it would be strong, but it would take a little bit of time to dry. So you just have to stick it for now. Try to follow the line that I put down. Right. So now I do the same thing for another one. This time I'm gonna put the glue first. Gonna put the string coming from the center, and then I'm gonna cut my string off. I'm gonna do another one coming from here. I just think this material is quite nice to work with because of its bendability, if that's a word. It's easily able to take the shape of what you want to make. So say we're making a flower, it would be nice to use this to probably do the stem of the branch that the flowers on. You can use it to create lines. I'm gonna put some stuff in the middle of each one, just to make each one look a little bit better. But for now, I'm going to do these lines in this string. Make sure it sets. Make sure you put a good amount of glue because you would want these things to remain on. You don't want them to fall off. And we're going to be doing printing with it, which means it could fall off. So what you want to do to make sure it doesn't fall off is you want to put down, as you see, I'm putting plenty glue just to make sure that it holds onto the cardboard. And I will give it a long time to dry as well. I got a whole lace of this. I found a whole, I don't know if it's shoelace, but I got a whole length of it, not too long, so I'm able to cut. Yeah, it's definitely shoelace. So I'm able to cut up the entire piece, and look at it. this one here is dried, but it doesn't really stop. I'm sticking it back. I think I'll do one more here. I think I'll just do one more. So there we have my pattern. Now I'm gonna put some stuff on the inside. What do I want to put on the inside? I'm thinking, I might put some straws going in. Yeah, I could use some straws. What else could I do? I could do some, okay, I have this box. I think I'll put this box over here. Stick that right there. I think I'll stick it the other way around. Yep. I'm going to put these washers in because I like how these washers look. Stick one right there. Stick one right there. One right over there. Yep. I like these matches, but I'm gonna cut the matches just so I don't have matches being so fun as I cut off the end of it. And I'm covering this entire section in glue. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the matches in. I'm gonna cut each one. Place them in the glue. Using my scissors to just cut. So you'd want to have a scissors on hand, just so that you can cut up your materials. You can cut up your string, you can cut up your matches, anything that you're using. Right, so I think that looks pretty cool. I'm actually going to do that one more time. I'm going to do it in this one. Notice some of my stuff is still wet, so I'm gonna just pull more glue just to make sure that it dries. Oh yes, and I'm gonna do matches in here again. You want to make sure that you have things that are almost the same height. You wouldn't stick some things that are too big on this. Let's just say you're looking for recycled materials, but you don't want to use too big recycled materials, like let's say this stone. Yes, the stone is something you could find outside, but it would be too big for your cardboard. It would be too high. Right? You're looking at the materials and they're almost the same level. Right, this just unstuck. Right? So as you see, as I move them, some things are coming off. So you have to leave this for a while to dry. Maybe leaving each layer to dry. Right? Let me get back to my matches. because that glue in the middle there is going to dry, so I'm not worried about having excess glue there. Putting one more in there. Right. So let me try some of these straw pieces. I could put in some straw pieces. I cut up my straw. Alright. Here's straw. Cut pieces of straw. Straw is very easy to cut. I also cut a tiny size. Putting one more here. Alright. And cut one more for here. Let's have to cut my straw open. I have this little washer. I'm gonna stick this over here. Right. I have these little tablet pieces. I'm gonna cut out one. As you can see, I'm trying to do something different with each section of this spiral that I do. Trying to create these different textures. What else do I have? I have this little rope. I'm gonna put in a center of these. Another little piece of rope. I cut these as well with the scissors. These little pieces of rope. It's a rope I found outside that you tie clothesline with. So it's very easy to cut. I'm just putting it down in between. And I think I'm about done there. I still have a little bit of area here. I want to stick one more thing, so this could fit really nice in the corner here. So I'm gonna stick that. A little piece of plastic I found outside. What else? I could fit a piece of it here. So I'm gonna stick one piece of it over there. Yeah. And maybe I think that's about it. So there we have my pattern stuck onto my cardboard, and all you have to do now is leave this to dry. You leave it to dry, and we shall be using this in our next video in next week's class to do a print. We'll be putting paint on it and doing a print once it has dried. So that should be in our next video. You leave this for a week to dry. Okay. So before I leave, this was the block that came out of the spiral drawing. Right. I'll show you some examples of some other ones you could have done. So in the case of the pattern, this pattern, it would have come out like this. So this is the pattern. As you can see, I've left this to dry, so everything is stuck down pretty well, right? Even the straws are stuck down, right? That's the pattern. You could have done a pattern like this, which is sort of a spiral as well. Everything is coming out from the center. Put some coins in there. This might be cool to print, right? So I put my matchsticks around. You could have done the flower. Let me see the flower drawing. So the flower, this is how your flower might have come out. So I used styrofoam cup. I found one of these cups and I cut it up and I used it, as well as a washer and some of that string I was telling you about. Dried as well. And let's say you were doing a picture of yourself, a simple drawing. It might have come out like this. So I use the matchsticks for here. Put in some washers for the eyes, the mouth, the ear. Use that rope. Right? It's fully dried. You leave your block to dry for a week, and next week we shall print this.